So it looks like I've already come more than halfway across the bottom of the metaverse, so that's good. I'm making progress here, definitely. And let's see which sim is up next. Looks like Nibiru. That sounds familiar. It has something to do with elven mythology, I believe. Well, let's find out. Looks like I was a bit off. This looks more Japanese. Nibiru. I know that name is familiar. Well, this sim seems pretty straightforward. It's obviously just a mall of some sort. Animations. So maybe an animator. We'll be exploring them all shortly. I just want to get the basic info on the land, animations, dances, toys, gadgets, etc. God, look at all those objects that are left. Like, seriously, they're using just a fraction of the land. Let's find the owner. Abrameline Wolf. So yeah, an entrepreneur, definitely. Interesting, like, construction. I don't really know why this is off the ground. I'm sure there's a good reason for that, but it escapes me. Well, this is so far so good. I kind of like this. It's nice. For a mall, that is. Getting a really shitty frame rate. I don't know what's going on with the viewer. Probably just loading a bunch of stuff. Got like not even 10% CPU activity, so it's a viewer issue. I'm not sure if it's the infrastructure, the core infrastructure of the InWorldz and Second Life model, or what, but or if it's a fault with the viewers, but I've never gotten really good performance. So this is like a steampunk like jetpack type thing, only it's a helicopter pack, I guess. Helipack, I don't know what the hell you would call it. Anyway, that's pretty cool looking. There are many grades of, oh yeah, helicopter backpack. Many grades of steampunk. That one's a little bit above average. Free poses for tiny film furniture builders. Dance animations. I'm not going to try any of these out because that would sort of, I think, cross the line into advertising for the sim owner. I'm just here to document. I'm not trying to really promote the store or anything. Tarot cards. Bagpipes. Cool. Tai Chi set. Neat. Voodoo doll. Gadgets and toys, that would definitely be the section I would check out first, since I'm not really big on avatar customization. Looks like someone's trying out animations over here. Pole dances, seriously? Geisha dances, intriguing. Dance sphere. Anyway, it's all pretty straightforward. This is just this is pretty standard for a mall and a virtual world. They all pretty much follow the same basic formula. There's just a big block of blackness over here. What is this? Maybe a building area for like works in progress. That'd be my guess. Spin the bottle. Obviously for personal amusement. So yeah, anyway, like I was saying, pretty standard for a virtual world mall. Although usually they don't have like a place to hang out like this. They're usually just straightforward malls where you look at a bunch of kiosks, all automated of course. And this is okay. I mean, this is fairly nice looking for a virtual mall. Oh yeah, there was a couple things I wanted to go over since the sim isn't very complicated. Alright, traffic. There we go. Traffic. This is like one of the key metrics of a sim, and I haven't really gone over this at all, but traffic is basically like how many people come to the sim every day. It's at 0. That isn't accurate, obviously. Although it clearly takes a while for this to refresh. It'll probably show like 2 later, who knows. Like, you think of a virtual mall, just like, I don't know, the economics of this. There are advantages. Like, the advantage is that basically there's no real maintenance other than the real maintenance of the owner of the sim having to pay the rent for the sim every month. But aside from that, the mall doesn't really require any maintenance or activity on the part of the owner. It just sits there and potentially people come and they buy stuff, and so it's kind of like just free money essentially. Once it's set up, it's a money making system and you don't really have to tamper with it. But the catch there is that if you don't get traffic, there are no opportunities for sales. So like, obviously this is a totally business oriented sim. The whole point of it is for people to come to this mall and spend money, but if the traffic is like 0, obviously there aren't going to be any sales. You know, there was like 1 person in here when I got here. She's still here. Dancing away, trying out animations. She might buy an animation, she might not, and chances are, let me see what the pricing is here. 150 Izzies per animation. So that's like a reasonable amount of money, I would say. That's like not even close to $1 in regular USD. And so if you consider that the person is paying $75 a month, and they would need to sell like probably 10 or 20 animations to make $1. So they would need to be getting a significant amount of traffic to basically even break even on the sim. So all of that is just sort of the basis for the economic model. And one thing I wanted to point out here, like, they got 40,000 objects available. Why would you buy a whole sim when you could basically have, like, all you need is 1700 to have this whole mall and everything. So like, why buy a whole sim? You could be paying a much lower tier fee, like, I don't know how much it would be, like maybe $10 or $15 a month. So you might actually be able to break even at that if you were able to draw enough people to your sim. But clearly, if you're getting like zero traffic, I mean, that number should have been like in the hundreds, I would guess, to really start breaking even for the sim owner. So yeah, anyway, that's just the basis. I know all this partially because I actually had a shop at one time in Second Life, and so I am well familiar with the basic economics. Although, one thing to point out is that since the metrics are so limited that pretty much all you have is this traffic figure here, if you're an outsider and you don't actually have access to the sim yourself, that is not extremely accurate, and that's just per day. So, I mean, who knows, 250 avatars may visit this later on, or not, who knows. Anyway, so that's Nibiru. Consider yourself documented.